Hi everybody, Yana Feldman, your Brooklyn, New York elder law attorney here. I wanted to make a short video because there are some huge changes in New York State Medicaid that may impact you or your loved ones. The first major change is that as of January 1st, the income limits for Medicaid have gone up substantially. Now, I'm talking about people who qualified under the category we call SSI-related. And most often, these are people who are over 65 or they're disabled or blind. The income limit for a single person to qualify for Medicaid used to be $800 and something thousand dollars. As of January 1st, that amount has gone up to over $1,500. For a married couple, used to be around $1,200. It's going up to $2,100. That's over $2,000. What does this actually mean? For many people, if they would have needed to use a pooled income trust, also known as a pooled supplemental needs trust, because their income was too high, they may no longer need to use that trust. Now, if your income is over the Medicaid income limit, then you have a few choices. You can skip getting Medicaid. You can pay in your surplus, and if your surplus is only $50 a month, that may be well worth it. Or if your surplus is sizable, and we have clients whose surplus is $500 and some where it's $5,000, you can deposit that surplus income over the Medicaid limit into a pooled trust every month and still use that money. The pooled trust will disperse those funds on your behalf to pay for any expenses that you have personally. And those funds that go into the pooled trust are disregarded. So a lot of people have to use the pooled trust and maybe they find it burdensome. And now a lot of people whose income will fit under the new Medicaid income limit will not need to use that pooled trust. So that's great. Another big difference in New York State Medicaid is the asset limit has changed. For people who are over 65, disabled or blind, Medicaid sets a limit as to the amount of assets or resources that you can have. A few things are exempt. For example, retirement plans and payout status, the primary residence up to around $960,000. Although you really want to be careful here because Medicaid can put a lien against it or come as a creditor if you pass away and your estate goes through probate. Also, an irrevocable prepaid funeral arrangement, a burial plot, and a car. All of these things are exempt from the Medicaid calculations. But for an individual, it was $16,800. It's now going up to $28,000. For a couple, it's going up to almost $38,000. Now, what does that mean for you or your loved ones? That means that if you have funds that you don't use every month, they can build up a little bit. Some people are always anxious and worried. My bank account can't go over the magic number. I need to use more money, etc. So they would not need to worry about that anymore. Or for individuals who are considering applying for Medicaid, the idea of leaving themselves with such a small amount of assets makes them uncomfortable. And this way they can say, okay, I'm going to be able to leave a little bit more money in my checking account, and I will be able to apply for Medicaid and get those home care services that I need to be safe in the community. So if you are currently receiving Medicaid, if you currently use a pool trust, and you don't believe that you would need a pool trust under the new higher Medicaid income limits, keep an eye out in your mail. You will be getting a letter from either HRA, that's Human Resources Administration in New York City, or the Department of Social Services. This is Medicaid. They will be sending you a letter, and it's going to have the documents that you'll need to request a recalculation of your budget. If you don't get that letter, you can certainly call HRA or your local Department of Social Services. Or when it's time for your recertification, which happens every year at different points in the year for different Medicaid recipients, you will be able to get that recalculation and rebudgeting at that time. So I hope that this is news you can use. And if you have any questions or you need a consult on Medicaid eligibility, please feel free to reach out to our office. We are located in Brooklyn, New York, or anywhere over Zoom or phone. Our website is www.yanafeldmanlaw.com, and our phone number is 718-713-8080, 718-713-8080. Thank you so much, and I hope that you stay well.